hit list. Where bitches don't get stitches, they bleed out. This the hit list. Where we don't wait for karma to come around. This the hit list. Where bodies will get dropped into the ground.
Welcome, YouTube, to the Hit or Miss Show. I'm the big dog.
I'm Lucky, y'all.
And today we watched Day Shift, a Jamie Foxx action comedy movie featuring him killing vampires. We have everything we need for this review. We have our beverages. We got our Florida State flag. And the review is Day Shift. It sucked.
When I saw the trailer, I thought it'd be like it was worth the watch.
Yeah, it's stereotypical vampire movie where it could have easily changed its name to like Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like right up there, like a lot of the Blade ripoffs.
It's Blade with less intense action scene. It only had a couple good action scenes.
Yeah, like there was one scene where they had these two badass vampire hunters.
Right.
Who just ended up, who just basically ended up only being in like one scene in the whole movie, and it sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't even get through the whole movie.
And I watched this whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Snoop Dogg did help try to save the movie a couple times. Yeah, Snoop Dogg was in this.
Yeah, he was. He was all countryed out.
Yeah, he was dressed up like a cowboy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, there was one scene where he helps Jamie Foxx out, and he comes into this mall, looking. Okay, so when I say it's a ripoff of Blade, this is an exact ripoff of Blade. Matter of fact, there's even a temple.
Yeah.
In this fucking movie. And of course, they have to fulfill some prophecy to make the vampires immune to daylight. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's a scene where she goes in there, this big old Gatling gun just plows down like all these zombies. And then granted, this is a newer movie. And,
it did have some visually striking effects, though. Like
yeah.
when the guy's head gets cut off and he's like holding it. And
yeah. Now, Jamie Foxx had this cool thing where he put it up across the doorways and stuff. And like the first one you see him do it, the second time he does it, he takes out the boss, the head vampire lady.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see him set that one up, though. Because the whole time it shows her walking towards the daughter and mother.
Right. And all of a sudden you hear think.
Yeah, and her hand's like this close to the neck and then you just stand. Another person that was in this movie was Dave Franco, which I actually kind of liked his character because it was Dave Franco.
Yeah. He pissed himself.
Yeah. His first encounter, he was a desk jockey, and his first day shift out in the field, he had to hand Jamie Foxx a shotgun.
And he pissed
himself.
And threw up.
He's like, duck. And he's like, what? No, duck. Like I said, the action scenes that there were short. But like I said, the one with the two guys that go to the mansion.
It was kind of funny between the interaction when he pissed himself and with the two guys. And he's just like, it's just kind of my thing.
Yeah. And then the one guy's like, okay, okay, pee pants, this is a man's job.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I thought those guys are going to be like helping him out again later on in the movie. And he never calls them up. But the one time he could actually use their help, killing a whole mall full of vampires.
Well, I mean, he got rid of a whole nest.
Yeah.
They did most of the killing.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Foxx is supposed to be this kick-ass vampire slayer guy. Takes forever and a day to kill one vampire, and then these guys come in there, and they're brothers, and they're just sitting there kicking ass the whole thing, killing. They're keeping track of how many vampires they kill as a game.
My personal opinion, they could have done without that whole him being like part of a bureau of vampire hunters or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of went to the RIPD route on that, which was a completely pointless scene because there was like one scene in the whole movie where he's there, and then you don't see the guy again until the end.
Yeah.
But like I said, Snoop Dogg was in this. They had a Russian guy that has been in quite a few movies.
Mm-hmm.
Any characters that were memorable were in and out of the movie.
It just wasn't the greatest.
No. It would have been great if they just would have made it like a Blade remake and just called it Blade. Without him being a daywalker. But like I said, the banter between him and Dave Franco is great.
Yeah. It had some good parts.
Yeah, like there's one scene where his daughter gets in the truck.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Here, take your iPad."
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, what kind of kid has an iPad? He's like, "Here, take your iPad, put these headphones on, and if you feel Dad swerving, he's just stress driving." And then she finishes the race on her iPad, which everything she does in the race, he's doing in real life.
Yeah.
And he's like, "The race is over. I think you need my help." And then he tells his wife that, "Oh yeah, I'm not technically a pool boy.
Yeah.
I'm a vampire hunter." She's like, "Say what?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Vampires are not real." And then she looks up, and the one lady's like flashing her fangs.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Dave Franco turns into a vampire, an Uber vampire, apparently, and Jamie Foxx ends up slicing off his head, and he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the rest of the movie, he's like sitting there holding his head above his. Which then they talk about another character in the movie, a female character, who was turned by the one head vampire lady, and she goes and helps. So again, the two brothers that kicked ass could have really helped out in this movie. But again, wasted characters.
Mm-hmm.
It exists, and it's not as bad as AVP Requiem.
Yeah.
I'd definitely watch it again.
Not as bad as Power Rangers either.
Yeah, or the Men Who Stare at Goats. I mean,
man, I'd watch anything over the Men Who Stare at
but
Goats.
there's like one scene before he gets chased in the truck with his daughter, where he opens the glove box and pulls out all these guns
Yeah.
out of the glove box, all his weapons. Why didn't he do that during the chase scene? I mean, did he just not have them in his truck at that time, or is it one of them convenient glove boxes that sometimes has gadgets and sometimes doesn't?
Yeah.
But he has a whole storage locker, which was ridiculously large, by the way, for a 5x10 storage locker, where he kept all his weapons and everything, and he makes an origami crane out of every vampire he kills.
And they just get their teeth. Like, they sell their teeth.
Yeah, the teeth is what's worth money, and the older the vampire, the more valuable the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But he was making a point that even juvenile vampire teeth are worth something if you get a large number of them.
Yeah.
Like in the mansion scene where he kills like all those guys, the brothers help him rip out the teeth and give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're trying. This movie has like 3 different plots in it. Like the first plot is he's a vampire hunter. The second plot is his ex-wife is wanting to move to Florida and sell the house.
Yeah.
And the third plot is this lady trying to make this ultimate thing for the vampires to be able to go out during the daytime.
Like putting that dude in the concrete
Yeah, that was kind of like.
while he's burning alive.
Yeah, it's kind of like cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
But
Because he ain't gonna die from that.
no, this movie.
So he's forever stuck like that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is the lady's like, yeah, in about 100 years we'll break you up so you can see what the world has become.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, is he alive that whole time?
Well, he's a vampire, so.
But I mean, even
Maybe
with the concrete.
I mean, if they bust him up,
Yeah, I guess
give
so.
some blood, Because remember, that guy ran around with his head cut off because he hadn't eaten yet.
Oh yeah, well he was a super vampire, and he says some vampires, if you decapitate them, are still alive.
Goober, I think. Or
Yeah, Uber vampire. Yeah. Well, that movie was a goober, but like I said, even Snoop Dogg tried to save this movie, and he just couldn't. Even though the 2 scenes that he was in the whole movie.
Yeah, they're good scenes. I like at the end where he gets out, lights the blunt.
Yeah, he gets out and tells it's typical Snoop Dogg, pulls out a joint and lights it up. He's like, the thing I love about Los Angeles, the vampires.
Yeah.
Even though they played him off as dead.
Yeah.
Now, this is a much shorter video because there's not much to really talk about this movie. It was a 2-hour movie. It's on Netflix. Get a chance, watch it. It's not bad. It's not great. Like I said, it's up in there with like Underworld or Blade.
Mm-hmm.
It has its funny moments. There are some funny scenes in the movie.
I was expecting a lot better, you know, because I had Jamie Foxx in it.
Yeah, and like I said, it had 3 plots in the movie, and it just wasn't. Like I said, I'd watch it again, but that's only because of the one scene with the 2 brothers in it.
Yeah. That was a pretty badass scene.
Yeah, where they go into a mansion, it's a nest.
That was the best.
The longest action, yeah.
The longest and the best.
Well,
Because even the big boss battle was quick. She just.
No, she's like kicking his ass all over the temple. And, yeah, it's. Like I said, it exists.
It hit our miss list.
Yeah, it's a miss. I mean, like I said, there's a few characters in there I liked, but.
Overall, we didn't like it that much.
If it had a better plot, or like a plot instead of 3 of them, like I get it, he's a family man, but why do you have to add a family complex to the movie? I mean, that's just.
It's just cliche.
Yeah, it's like.
But they do say the most dangerous kind of man is a man that has nothing left.
Yeah, but still. So, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and ring that bell.
Ring a ding, y'all. Ring a ding.
Next movie we're going to be doing is Predators.
Alright, we're going to work on getting it.
Yeah, well, we can do Predators and Prey.
Right.
And
okay.
then we can do The Predator.
Right. Yeah. Alright.
And then we're going to get into our classic horror movies reimagined. For October. So tune in. You all have a great night, and thank you for all your support.
Night, y'all.
Night.